they tend to be one of the last PC parts to be picked, but undoubtedly, power supplies are one of the more important components in your PC build, because without them, your PC won't even start. In this guide, I'm going to give you an idea on how to choose your power supply for your gaming PC or workstation build. As this is a beginner to mid-range build, I will not go into super in-depth topics such as power spikes. Okay, first up, the size of the power supply, or more accurately, its form factor. This will determine how your power supply fits into your case.
Okay.
And how much room you have for the rest of the other components. There are two main sizes, the main ATX as well as the SFF or small form factor. There are a few subcategories in SFF, but let's leave that to another video. Point 2. How modular is your power supply? Or how I like to put it, how messy would your final build be? There are three types: non-modular, semi-modular, and fully modular. You cannot remove any power cable from a non-modular power supply because all of the cables are attached permanently to the power supply. In a semi-modular, you can remove all of the cables except for a 24-pin and more often the 8-pin CPU power cable. And for a fully modular power supply, you guessed it, you can remove and unplug all of the cables plus the 24-pin as well as the 8-pin CPU power cable. So these 4 PSUs kindly provided by ASUS Singapore are all ATX. All PSUs except for these 650 watts are fully modular. Many PC builders, if they can afford, prefer a fully modular power supply because they don't need to deal with all the cables that come with a non-modular power supply. How convenient! Okay, starting off in the early to mid-range, this is the Tough Gaming 650 watt. In the mid to high end, this is the Strix 850 watt white edition, great for all white PC builds. In the high end, we have the Strix 1000 watt power supply, and in the power end, the 1600 watt for titanium. So you may be wondering, what's the deal with this titanium? You can also see the other power supplies also have a bronze as well as a gold color rating. This color codes describes how efficient each power supply performs at various power loads. Each color code is a different 80+% power rating, starting from bronze going all the way up to titanium. I may show you how to roughly calculate this in another video. And by the way, if you are getting awesome value so far, make sure to smash the like button. So what's inside a power supply box? Let's take a look at this one. Okay, besides the main PSU, each power supply comes with a guide, cable ties, stickers, as well as a cable wrap to manage more of your cables. For power cables, first thing, of course, you need a power cord to plug your power supply to the wall, the 24-pin for your motherboard, the 8-pin CPU power cable, the SATA cable for something like your hard drives, and PCIe power cable for something like your graphic cards. There's also a special bonus that's included in this 4 power supply. This is a special 12-pin PCIe power cable that can handle up to 600 watts. It is ready to take on the PCIe Gen 5 graphic cards that come from NVIDIA as well as AMD Radeon. A power supply unit basically does two things. One, it converts AC power from the wall to DC, and two, distributes that DC power or voltage into the other PC components, which allows you to do this. Wow, check out this amazing Thor 1600 watts with the nice LED screen showing how much power you use and the ARGB that you see on the power supply. Very nice, sexy. Call it the awesome Thor sexy silver monster. Okay, also on this setup we have the Maximus 12 Extreme 10900K Cooler Master Illusion 6900 XT Tough Gaming. Okay, let's set aside this shiny monster for a while and let's go back to the other PSUs. So, you may be wondering, how do I choose from these 4 PSUs? As mentioned, at the early mid-range, we have this Tough Gaming 650 watt power supply, which retails at 119 Singapore dollars. It works well with an Intel i5 or Ryzen 5 partnered with a GPU of up to a RTX 3060 or RX 6600. Perhaps you can squeeze in a 6600 XT or even a 3060 Ti. Next, in the mid to high end, we have this Strix 850 watt white, which retails at 309 Singapore dollars. It is good for an i7 or Ryzen 7 partnered with a GPU of up to a 1600 XT or an RTX 3080. This range tends to be a sweet spot for most gamers who want to game with high FPS, as well as people who want to do some simple to mid-level content creation. If you do not need the white edition, you can get the stock black at 289 Singapore dollars. Between these two PSUs, why don't I just get the 850 watts? Yes, of course, please do if your budget allows you to. But for a budget-conscious gamer, the money that you spend on the 850 watt may allow you to buy a better SSD or even a better GPU. Even though it is better to have more power headroom, it is still important to find something that suits your budget. So this is where this 650 watt comes in. Now we go on to the high end with 1000 watts. This is where things start to get really serious. A possible build will be an i9 or Ryzen 9 partnered with a GPU such as the 6900 XT, an RTX 3090 or even the monstrous 3090 Ti. In addition, if you are in the mid to high end and if your budget allows you to, you can consider buying this 1000 watts for more power headroom. Should you wish to upgrade something better, your PC is ready. Yes, you can save money by getting the 850 watts. But if your PC has something like an i9 plus the RTX 3090, I feel it is cutting a bit too close. It may be a bit crazy to invest in 1000 watts, but with the rumored power consumption coupled with an i9 or Ryzen 9, investing in 1000 watts just doesn't seem that crazy after all. And time to return to this shiny monster. The sky's the limit with this amazing 4 1600 watt power supply. i9, Ryzen 9, Threadripper Pro, partnered with GPUs such as 2 RTX 3090s or 2 RTX 3090 Ti's. If you're doing heavy compute loads with more than one GPU, please consider getting a power supply like this. For dual RTX 3090s or 2 RTX 3090 Ti's, you need one of these power supply. If you're going with 3 or even 4 GPUs, you need 2 of these, as well as a case that can handle the 4 GPUs and these 2 Thors. Choosing a power supply like this ensures that 1, there's enough juice for the 4 GPUs, as well as 2, provide a safeguard against power spikes that may happen during your renders or computes. Okay, to sum it all up, 650 watts, good enough for budget-conscious builds. 850 watts, mid-range to high-end gaming. You will have enough power to play AAA titles as well as perform simple to mid-level content creation. But if you need extra power, you may consider this 1000 watts. And besides that, you can do a lot with 1000 watts of power. Paired with an i9 and an RTX 3090, you will have enough power to run your heavy content creation applications. And 1600 watts, this is the power you need if you plan to have more than 2 GPUs in your system. Paired with an i9 or even a Threadripper Pro, this ensures that you have enough power if you want to get the next gen GPUs. And with that, if you have any questions or would like to see other guides, you can write down in the comments below. In the meantime, if you'd like to know how to buy your first motherboard, you can check out our motherboard buying guide. So, bye!